Hey guys, welcome to Alchemy Yoga Online. Thank you for joining me for Happy Hips today. My name is Natalia, if we haven't met. Today's class is going to be a nice, gentle class. We're going to stay really low to the ground. We're going to come up a couple times, but it's going to be really relaxing. Stretch out the hips, connect with the breath. If you have a hard time on your wrists today, it's going to be a little bit wrist heavy. So my recommendation is to get a blanket. If you have blocks, you can grab those. If you don't worry. You can bring yourself up close to a couch or a stable coffee table to use them for support. And you can either lean your forearms on them or bring your forearms onto a folded blanket to give yourself your wrists a little bit of a break at any time you need. Find a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged. You can sit your hips up on a blanket. A blanket's my favorite prop to use. So if you have one, you can grab one to use for today's practice to make yourself more comfortable. Take a moment just to relax your hands on your lap. Feel your sit bones get heavy. Take a deep, slow breath in, rise up tall through your spine. Open your mouth, gently release it out. Allow your shoulders to relax. Soften your jaw, unclench your teeth. Relax and soften the space around your eyes. And for these next few moments, just becoming aware of your surroundings. Noticing any sounds that you hear in the space around you. And then notice the outline of your body, the skin. Your skin. Notice the places on your skin that feel cool. Perhaps those are the places that are in contact with the air. And then noticing the places on your skin that feel warm. And perhaps these are places that have clothing. Noticing the sensation and texture of your clothing. And then gently draw your awareness inside your body. And starting at your toes, begin to slowly scan your way up your body. Pausing in any places you notice any tension, discomfort. Send your breath to those places. Allow it to release, to let go. And then continue to move on, scanning your way slowly up the body. Pausing whenever you notice a place of tension. Sending your breath to that space and moving on. Doing that as many times as you need until you eventually reach the crown of your head. When you reach the crown of your head, draw your awareness to the tip of your nose, to the physical place in your body where your breath enters and leaves. And just noticing for the next few breaths, the flow of your breath into your nostrils and the flow of your breath out. And perhaps even noticing whether the breath feels warm, whether the breath feels cool, and maybe it changes. Maybe it feels cool on one breath and warm on the other. Noticing these subtleties in your own body. Take a slow, full breath in, rise up tall through your spine. Open your mouth, gently release. We're going to do that a couple more times. Deep breath in, rise up tall. Open your mouth, release it. Last one. Fill your lungs completely. Expand them outwards. Let it go with a sigh. You can blink your eyes open here and slowly bring yourself back. Gonna extend your legs out in front of you. Take your feet nice and wide. It's helpful to sit up on something. It can be a pillow or a blanket, just to get our pelvis into a neutral position. Oftentimes when we sit flat on our mats, our pelvis dumps backwards and we end up loading our backs quite a bit. So see if you can sit on the edge of something to get that pelvis to tip forward. To start, you're going to extend your arms forward, and you're just going to begin to point your toes and your fingers down and then flex everything up towards you. And point down and flex it up. And then just circle your wrists and your ankles, moving a little bit of fluid in your joints, and change directions. Just noticing that I was dumping back into my low back. So sitting up nice and tall. And then you can just shake out your wrists, relax your hands beside your hips, and then you're going to take your toes nice and wide. So instead of just the foot moving, you want this action to move all the way up the legs. So it's actually moving in your hip joint. And then rotate your toes inwards. Rotate outwards, rotate inwards. And then you can just shake your feet out a little bit and relax them. Interlace your fingers. You're going to begin to circle, draw a big circle around in front of you. And just noticing here, noticing your pelvis. And how when you circle around and reach the different points on your pelvis that are in contact with the ground. So how the pressure changes. And then change directions. And come back to center. Inhale, rise up through your spine. Exhale, you're going to walk your hands out in front of you, folding forward. And see if you can allow this action to come from the pelvis tipping forward as much as possible. You can close your eyes here if it feels good, and just taking a moment to connect with the inflow and outflow of your breath. And soften any places you notice tension. Take one more breath in this space. And then slowly work your way back up. You can place your hands next to your hips for support, or if you want to try this with your hands up, you can place them in prayer in front of your heart. You're going to lean back a little bit. Press through your right heel and just lift your right leg off the ground. Let it hover off the ground for a moment. Bend the knee, bring your foot down in front of you. Lift your foot up, hover for a moment, straighten the leg, release down. We're just going to do that a couple of times. Let it hover before you place it down and when you lift it back up. Starting to activate the muscles in the hip joint. You're going to move through it one more time. Remember to pause before lowering and when you lift. And the next time you bring it in, place your foot down. You're going to press through your left heel, lift up the left foot and the leg. Bring it in, let it hover for a moment, place it down, lift it up, hover, extend it straight, hover, release down. Just continuing that motion here, waking up this left hip joint, working a little bit of heat into that joint. Oftentimes when we use our hands to bring our legs in, we miss out on the opportunity to build a little bit of strength in that joint. So we're just going to do it one more time. And then bring the soles of your feet together. And instead of pulling your heels towards you, can you just bring them in actively with your own muscle power in your legs and work the pose there. Rise up tall. You can let your hands rest on your ankles. Inhale as you lift up. Exhale, come forward. Round down through the spine. Rock back and roll up as you inhale. Exhale, flowing forward. Round down, rock back, flow up. Inhale, exhale, forward. Just continuing to move here. Moving in a way that feels good in your body. Connecting the movement with your breath. We're having a little bit of a thunderstorm right now if you're not watching live. So if you hear some crashing in the background, it's probably the thunder. Flowing through one more time. And now you have an option. You can keep moving if that's what your body needs right now. Or next time you come forward, pausing. You can even walk your hands out in front of you. Again, allowing the action to come from the pelvis tipping forward. Finding length in your spine. Reconnecting with your in-breath and your out-breath. Slow, full breath in. Release it out. Slowly rise up. You can draw your knees closer together. Cross your ankles. Come forward onto all fours. If you're on a hard floor, you can unfold your blanket and place it underneath your knees if you would like a little bit of extra support under your knees. And then you're going to take your knees nice and wide, big toes come closer together, perhaps touch, easing your way down into a child's pose. Any variation of child's pose that feels right in your body. Your hips can be as high or low as is comfortable. You can support your head if you'd like. Arms can be in whatever variation you choose. Relax your low belly. Allow your breath to be received in that soft belly each time you breathe in. To relax and release as you breathe out. On your inhale, you're going to rise all the way up. And as you rise, rounding down through your spine, tucking your chin. As you exhale, send it back. Inhale, coming up. And this time, lifting your sit bones, lifting your gaze. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, rising and rounding. Exhale, flowing back. Inhale, lifting up, coming forward. Exhale, back. And just continuing for the next few breath cycles. Flowing forward and back, alternating between cat and cow each time you come up. Next time you come up, finding a neutral spine, tucking your toes under, sending your hips up and back, downward dog. Bring whatever movement you need here. You can pedal out your feet, bend your knees. You can continue to move, or you can find stillness in the pose. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Slide them halfway up your legs, extending forward through the crown of your head. Deep breath in. As you exhale, folding forward, you can soften your knees. And whatever you want to do with your arms, they can dangle, you can hold elbows, they can stay on your legs for support. You can invite a little movement in by swaying side to side. Maybe even nodding your head yes and no a few times. Releasing any tension in your neck. Ragdoll yourself down completely. Release all tension in your head. Shift your weight into your heels and really slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, begin to roll and round your way up. Take your time to rise. Let your head be the very last thing that lifts. Inhale, roll your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, circle them down and back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. One more time. Step your feet hip distance apart. Pick up your toes. Spread all 10 toes nice and wide. And then starting on the outer edges of your pinky toes, you're just going to place your toes down as best you can, one at a time. Creating this stable foundation for yourself. Relax your hands by your sides. Begin to shift your weight into your left foot so it bears more and more weight until your right foot just hovers off the mat. Now you have a couple options. You can bring your hands onto your hips if you feel more balanced, or you can keep them relaxed. You're going to lift your knee out in front of you, take it wide, and circle around. And change directions. You can also do this next to the wall if you need a little more support. Bring your knee out in front of you. Take a moment to reground through your left foot. Take your knee out to the side, and we're going to move into tree. So foot can stay on the floor if you need more balance, cupping the ankle to the calf or to the inner thigh. Bring the hands together in front of the heart and lift up through your left hip. Rise up tall through your spine. If you feel fairly balanced here, perhaps on an inhale, floating your fingers up towards the ceiling. And keep your hands nice and relaxed so they can help with your balance. One more deep breath in. Exhale. exhale, slowly release it all down. Give your legs a little bit of a shake if you need to. And then once again, finding Tadasana, mountain pose. So you can lift your toes up again, this time starting on the inner edge. So big toes down first. See if you can go that way one at a time. It's really hard. The three toes in the center like to think they're connected. So they tend to come down at the same time, and that's okay. Feel the inner and outer edges of your feet, the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot. Feel grounded and stable. And just simply begin to shift your weight into your right foot. Allow the left foot to just hover off the ground. Move really slowly. You begin to lift your knee out in front and then begin to circle your left knee. And then change directions. Take your knee out in front. Take a moment to reground through your right foot. Find your balance point. Then take your knee out to the side and place your foot wherever you want to work. Palms together in front of your heart. Feeling rooted and grounded through your right foot. Lifting out of your right hip. Letting that energy travel up your spine and up through the crown of your head. Perhaps on an inhale, floating your fingers overhead. Allow those hands to be relaxed to help balance you. One more deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, release it all down. Shake it out. Inhale, float your arms up, lift your gaze. Exhale, soften your knees, fold forward. Hands can find your legs, they can find the floor. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, drawing your belly down towards your thighs. Relax your head. And then from this place, working on lifting your sit bones up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Bend your knees. And you're just going to crawl yourself forward into a tabletop. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding down. Moving through cat-cow. Find a neutral spine. Extend your right leg straight back behind you. Place the toes on the mat and just take a moment to press back through your right heel, lengthening the back line of the body, all the way from the crown of the head, down the spine, down the back of the right leg, through the heel. Now, you're going to rotate to the inner edge of your right foot. So you just bring that right heel down. You're going to take your left foot and spin it back behind you, almost like a kickstand. Left shoulder over the wrist, and just bring your right hand onto your hip to start. As you inhale, you're going to float your right leg off the ground. Exhale, lower down. Just flowing here up and down a few times. Next time your foot floats up, you're going to pause here. Your hand can stay on your hip, or you can reach it up towards the sky. And then you're just going to begin to draw a little tiny circle with your right foot, your right heel. The smaller the circle, the more challenging it is on the hip. And then the other way. You move slowly. Find a moment of stillness. Maybe even bending that knee and taking a hold of the foot, pressing ankle into hand. Release. And then release your right foot down to the mat. From here, you're going to rise up. Right hand onto your hip. Left fingers are going to sweep up and over, coming into a side bend. Finding length and space along the left side of your body. Inhale, rising up. From here, you're going to pull your right heel in and then point your toes straight back towards the back edge of your mat. To start, you're just going to press the back of your right hand to the inner edge of the inside of your knee. And you're just going to actively press the knee back and then the knee back into your hand. So creating a bit of an active pose here. Rising up tall through your spine, breathing. Keeping that same action in this right leg. You may choose to lower down onto your right forearm and then sweep your left arm up and over so the fingers are reaching towards the back. Inhale, rise up, hinging at your hips. You're going to bring your hands out in front of you. It's kind of in between where your knee and your hands are. And then you're going to fold forward here. Keep that same action. Watch, the knee will want to bend inwards. Can you press that knee behind you? Reach your arms forward, relax your head down, breathe. You can close your eyes today. At any point, it feels good to take your awareness inwards, to connect more deeply with your breath and with yourself. Take another breath. And then begin to walk your hands back under your shoulders, rising back up. And now all we're going to do is rotate that left foot behind. Bring your hands to the inner edge of the inside of your right foot, and then heel toe that right foot right to the edge of your mat. Spin. You can even spin your toes nice and wide, coming into dragon pose. And now we're just going to rotate to the outer edge of the right foot and then rotate to the inner edge. Just exploring that right hip joint. Noticing any sensations. If you need a little height under your hands, you can always place the rolled up blanket underneath them. You can do this on the edge of a couch as well. Or if you have blocks, you can use those. And then allow your foot to relax. Now you can stay here, or if you want to take it a step further, and only if it feels right in your body to go a step further, you can lower down. This is a big ask of the hips. So if this just feels like miles away, stay up on your hands. Connect with your breath. This is a multi-staged pose. So at any point, if it's enough for your body, pause there. The next stage is to tuck the left toes under. You're just going to press straight back through that left heel and perhaps hover the knee off the ground. Can you soften your belly a little bit? Can you unclench your teeth? Connect deeply with your breath. One more breath here. If your knees lifted, as you exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift up onto your hands. You're going to heel toe this right foot in a little bit. And you're going to start to walk your hands over to the long edge of your mat, pick up your back knee, and come to the center of your mat, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So just look and see that both of your toes are pointing straight forward. Lift up halfway, take a full breath in. As you exhale, folding forward here. Allow your head to hang. And then you're just going to walk your hands over to the front edge of your mat. Lower your back knee, and then bring that left knee underneath your hip. Moving through some cat-cows. Inhaling as you lift up. Exhale as you round down. Find a neutral spine. Extend your left toes back behind you. Place your toes on the ground. Press straight back through that heel. Just taking a moment to lengthen the back of the body. And then you're going to rotate to the inner edge of your left foot. And you're also going to bring this right foot straight back behind you like that kickstand we did earlier. Left hand onto your hip. Inhale, float your left foot off the ground. Exhale, release it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Next time your foot lifts up, you're going to pause here and just begin to draw a really small circle with that left heel. Change directions. Find stillness once again, and maybe floating the left hand up. If you want to take it a step further, bend that left knee, take a hold of the ankle, press your ankle into your hand and your hand into your ankle. Release your ankle if you've got a hold of it. Straighten that left leg, bring the foot down to the mat, rise up, left hand on hip, right fingertips up and over. Breathing here. Inhale, come up. Pull the left heel in, bend the knee. You're going to bring the back of the left hand to the inside of the left knee and just actively squeeze them together. Right hand can come onto the hip, rise up tall through the spine, breathe. Now, keeping this left leg nice and active, you can stay where you are. You can slide down onto your forearm. Inhale your right arm up and over, coming into almost an extended side angle variation here. Inhale, rise up. Kind of at a diagonal. You're going to inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Walk your hands down to the floor. Walk them forward, folding, releasing your head. Keep that action in the left knee. So the left knee's not collapsing, but it's moving back behind you. So you're continuing to open up through your hip. Walk your hands back under your shoulders. And then you're just going to rotate that right foot straight back behind you so you're facing the back edge of your mat again. Hands to the inside, setting yourself up for dragon on this side. So rotating to the outer edge of the left foot and then inwards. Exploring the hip joint. Propping yourself up however you need to. And then allowing this leg to come to stillness somewhere in between the two. Finding length in the spine. Now you can choose to stay here or only if it feels right in your body. Finding your way down. And it's okay to roll onto the outer edge of your left foot as well. And you can stay here or take it that one last step of tucking the back toes under, lifting that back knee, pressing straight back through the right heel. Deep breath in. Exhale, release your knee down. Inhale, finding your way back up. You can release your hips a little bit, send them back. Heel toe this left foot in towards the middle edge or the middle of your mat, and then walk your hands over to the edge. Coming into a wide-legged forward fold again. So inhaling, length into your spine. Exhale, folding forward. Anchor down through your left hand. Inhale, sweep your right fingers up. Exhale, release your right hand. Inhale, left fingers up. Moving side to side here. And just noticing your pelvis. Noticing how your pelvis naturally shifts from side to side as you twist. And just allow it to move freely with the movement. Next time both hands are down, you're going to pull your heels in one at a time, bend your knees, bring your hands onto the tops of your thighs, coming into goddess pose. I'm just going to turn around here. Sink your hips. You can keep your hands on your legs. You can shift a little side to side. Inhale, take your arms nice and wide. Exhale, reach forward, round down. Keep your hips nice and low. Inhale, opening up, lifting your gaze. Exhale, reaching forward. Next time your arms open, bend your elbows, sink your hips a little more, breathe. Exhale your hands onto your hips. Inhale, straighten your legs. It's going to heel toe your feet a little closer together, just a little bit. Take your toes nice and wide. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sinking into Malasana. So elbows to the insides of your knees, palms together, lengthen through your spine. This pose is uncomfortable for most people. Just notice the places in your body that are tense because of the discomfort. Can you relax them with your breath? Can you soften them? Common places we hold tension are the belly, the shoulders, the jaw, the eyes. Softening and breathing. Slow, full breath in. Release it out your mouth. And then you have a couple options here. You can take your hands back behind you to help you sit down, or you can try without your hands and come to seated. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together again. You can sit up on your blanket again if you'd like. But instead of Baddha Konasana, where the heels are really close to your sit bones, you're going to keep your heels a little bit further away into more of a diamond shape. Inhale, lengthen to your spine. Exhale, coming forward. Your hands can land wherever they're comfortable. You can relax your head down. We're going to be here for a little bit. So if you would like to prop something underneath your head, that's always a nice variation. Slowing down your breath, slowing down the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. Inhale, fill your lungs. Exhale, release. Your next in-breath, slowly rising up. If you're sitting on a blanket, you can just move it. If you have a bolster, you can use that, or you can just roll up your blanket into a tube. If your blanket is thicker, a thicker tube is okay for this next section. So you're going to come onto your back. We're just going to finish off with some nice restorative poses. So knees are bent, feet on the floor. As you inhale, you're going to pick up your pelvis. You're just going to slide your blanket roll underneath your hips. And if you don't have any props with you, that's all right too. You can do this without. And just take a moment to settle in. Move your body and make any adjustments you need to make it comfortable. Your hands can rest on your belly. They can relax out to the sides. Just enjoying this supported bridge, feeling your pelvis sink into whatever's supporting it. On your next inhale, you're going to float your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale here. Inhale, float your left leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale here. You may have to adjust your blanket if you have something underneath your hips to kind of find that sweet spot where it doesn't take a lot of effort for your legs to be pointed upwards. And you can arrive in stillness here, or if you feel your body still needs some movement, this is a great place to move and freestyle with your legs here. Move them in whatever way you need. And if you are moving them, arriving into stillness. deep breath here. And then take your feet nice and wide. You're just going to bend your knees down towards you, and then just let your feet and your lower legs flop down so that there's absolutely no work in holding them up. Now, for some of you, this may not feel comfortable. It's one of those interesting poses that feels great in some bodies and not so great in others. And if that's the case for you, just extend your legs up straight again. Otherwise, breathing here. Noticing the pressure in your belly. Breathing into that pressure, that compression. Inhale, exhale, release one foot slowly back down to the ground. Take another breath. Exhale, slowly release your other foot back down. Inhale, pick up your hips. You're going to slide that blanket down towards your heels so that your pelvis can come to rest on the mat once again. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to fall out to the sides, arriving in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. Your hands can be palm up by your sides, out in a T, or even overhead. Allow your awareness to connect with your breath. Breathing in a natural way, a way that feels nourishing in your body. Noticing the flow of your inhale and the release of your exhale. Just like waves on an ocean, moving in and moving out. You can choose to stay here for final Shavasana. You can simply extend your legs straight. Maybe move your blanket behind your knees. Give them a little bit of support. You can take your feet nice and wide. Whatever arm variation feels right in your body. Take a slow, full breath in. Release it out. Again, deep breath in. Let it go. Last one. Let it go with a sigh. Allow your body to settle in to Shavasana. Allow your legs to be heavy and relaxed. Your pelvis roots down beneath you, anchoring you to the earth. Your belly is soft. Your ribs gently expand and contract with each breath. Your arms are relaxed. Your shoulders. Unclench your teeth. And allow your eyes to sink heavy into their sockets. And the space around them is free of tension and completely relaxed. Your whole body is relaxed. Your whole body. Feel free to remain here for as long as you want. You can pause the video. If you're ready to come back, just take a moment to notice the different sounds around you. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin, the weight and texture of your clothing. And from this space of awareness, invite movement back into your fingers and toes. Allow that movement to grow and stretch your body in whatever way you need. Maybe even hugging your knees in, giving them a squeeze. And then finding your way onto your side. And it can be your right or your left. Taking another moment to pause. And then slowly finding your way back up to a comfortable seat. Once again, closing down your eyes, pressing your palms together in front of your heart. Bring your thumbs right into your heart space. Take a moment to connect here. Connect with your beating heart. Feel the energy that lies beneath your hands. Bring your hands out in front of your face and just begin to rub them, generating heat and energy. And then place your warm hands over top of your closed eyes, allowing that energy to move into your face, flow down your shoulders, chest, belly, hips, legs, and feet, till your whole body is surrounded with it. Last releasing breath of the practice. Deep breath in. Let it go. Begin to blink your eyes open behind your hands, allowing in some light, and then release them down. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. If you made it this far, I hope to see you in person really soon. Have a great day. Namaste.